My theory is that Donald Trump is trying to kick out Black Americans out of America. And I know some people are gonna be like, oh my God, do you think he has all those rights? He can never do that because we came here, we built this country, and this and that. Hey, guys, let's chill a little bit. Let me explain. So before I continue, let me say hello first. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody's doing good, everybody's fine, everybody's safe, everybody's well. Do not forget to like, subscribe, share, and tell me what you think in the comment section. I know that a lot of people are going to be like, girl, you're just crazy. But I was actually watching a video this morning. I'm going to talk about two people specifically in this video. So I'm going to talk about a sister, auntie. Tabitha speaks politics. So this is the first person I want to talk about. Is a person that I do have respect for. I don't agree with 100% of the thing that she says, especially when she gets like really upset. Like sometimes I feel like we gotta keep emotion a little bit aside. And after Donald Trump won and people started realizing that that man was crazy, like, he was like signing crazy things, and all these Latino people that were being deported, and they were like, oh my God, I didn't know that Donald would be doing this. I didn't know. This is really crazy. And okay, I have a very bad Latino accent. And she made, and a couple of people made a lot of videos, and they were like, well, how do you deserve? How do they of the person you voted for? You deserve this thing. This is good for you. Good. And I understand, partially that, good for them, they voted, and we try to make them understand, let's vote Kamala. But they voted for what they voted for, and unfortunately we all have to live with that consequences for the next 4 years. However, I love the fact that some people are now actually openly saying, I regret voting for this man, because some people would never even say it. Because as long as people can realize that this was a mistake, they can now go and vote Democrat and try to get back some of the seats that we lost, which is very important. So I do believe that sometimes, especially when you have this bigger voice out there, that sometimes we have to leave our emotion aside, because you are a leader to a couple of the people, hundreds of thousands of people that listen to you, and that's the thing. But having that said, we also see that because the Black community is quite upset, they don't go and march with everybody and anybody. They don't. They stay at home. They're like, this is not our problem. You didn't vote for Kamala, so we ain't gonna work with you. Which actually might have saved a lot of Black people, a lot of minority people, aka again the Black people, the Latino people, Asian people, like African people, all of these people. This might have saved a lot of lives, because this morning I was listening to a video that came out a couple of days ago from a gentleman who has a channel named Hawk Podcast, I believe. Hawk Podcast, Hawk, I don't know. Hawk Podcast, I will link it, and that I'm talking about down below. And the video name that I'm talking about is Donald Trump is desperate for racial violence in the US. He's talking about the fact that when people, mostly white people, go out and protest, the police is actually standing right there, but they're not actually doing anything. They're just looking at them protesting. And he believes that if any other people would actually be there, the minorities and the Black folks, if they were there, they would probably get arrested and more. To me, this is a way to get deported very easily, because they will pick you up, put you in the plane to El Salvador, and once you're there, you don't really have a way to come back, because obviously if you're in prison, you can't just show yourself back to the embassy and be like, I'm a real American. You can't do that. And this is a way to get people out. This is what I'm saying. And I know a lot of Black Americans, the ones that are always like very pushing around and being like, yes, we're not Africans, we're not this, we're not that, we're not Black, we're not this, because some people actually do feel that, don't actually realize that a lot of people, a lot of these white folks, not all of the folks, not all of the white folks, those white folks that are really like racist, if they could get them back to Africa, they would, even giving them money for them to bounce out of here, they would. But because they don't want to have this thing of, oh, we went and kidnapped them and put them on the boat and made them slaves and this and that, we need to find another solution. If they're being crazy, if they're on the street and BLMing outside there, we are going to use that reason to kick them out. I really believe that, because sometimes the way some people react because a black person has done something, this is how they would react if a white person does something, is crazy. Like, I don't like talking racial thing like at all. When I see a story, I see people. And I would react the same if the person is black or white. If George Floyd was a white man and I had seen what that police person had done to him, I would have had the same reaction, because it's not normal that police just unalive you just because. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. It's not normal. But you have this thing going on, and I want to say that when the protests are happening, I think it's kind of crazy, because I don't know if you really change anything by protesting, especially against Trump. He did so many crazy things since he even became president again, and nobody's saying nothing. From scamming people for crypto, from just being rude, is now killing education, including the advert thing. Money usually comes along. I came from Africa to study here. We don't get bursaries or stuff. I didn't get a bursary. I paid full price. I cannot take a loan to pay for my studies. So that is money that was brought to the United States, brought to Canada, because I studied in Canada. And at the time where I was studying, I wasn't even allowed to work. So the money came 100% from my parents, they're the one who paid for my studies. So it's money that is brought onto America, into America. This is crazy that he believes that not only people should not get education, but the money that people are bringing in is like, yes, Americans are not getting into these universities. I'm sorry, but most Americans don't want to study, especially because when they actually take all these loans to study, they don't really get a job behind. So people are just trying to get by, hustle, and, have 2-3 jobs to just be able to pay their rent, their food, their electricity bills and stuff. That's what people are doing today. So it's just a stupid guy trying to push again more nonsense into these MAGA people's head. But anyway, that is my opinion, my view. That is pretty factual, I believe. But anyway, tell me what you think in the comment section. Do not forget to like, subscribe, share. Go subscribe to, Tabitha Speaks Politics. She is a great person. Yes, normal people do not agree 100% with everything somebody else has said. It is normal. It is human. But overall, she's a great chick. Go subscribe to Hawk Podcasts. Of course, another great gentleman. Very logical person. So, yeah. Voila, we'll see ya in the next time. Faceless out. Ciao, ciao.